Back to school for the kiddos. So let's go ahead and see what it is that we can do to support the kids, the youth, as they are going back to school and having to be more concentrated. Okay, their concentration is going to have to be needed, as well as just kind of balancing out and helping out those teachers also. Okay, they don't get paid enough, and a lot of times the patterns that these kids are picking up on is in the household. So one of the things that Spirit was giving me in regards to this back to school transition to help the youth is balancing your home. Okay, so balancing your home. If you are arguing a lot, or your children are seeing unhealthy patterns, try to create some sense of privacy, so that they're not able to see so much of those unhealthy patterns and then taking it on to school. And because kids are very different when they're around people that different people besides their parents. They're very different. Okay, especially when it comes to like teachers. They're very different. They show a whole different side of themselves. Okay, so it's like sometimes you'd be like, my child did that. Yes, your child did that because they were taken after the patterns that they were seeing with you. All right. So creating that balance within a home life, okay, and then also creating a safe space is what I'm picking up on, okay. So with school starting back up, like I said, kids have been on their phones, they've been on their tablets, they've been watching certain TV shows that, the attention span clicks, 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 clicks. So it's hard for, these kids, whether they are grade school, middle school, high school, to actually have an attention span sitting in the class. 202 as I look at the timer, okay, balance. So, it's hard for them to really sit down for 8 hours straight and really have this attention span. It's just, it's if we can barely look at a 3-minute video on TikTok as adults, what do you think your child is able to do? Okay. So really kind of just allowing that safe space for your child at this time. Okay. Because they, even though they're children and they don't have necessarily responsibilities, they go through things as well. Okay. And so they need your support at this time. Yeah. 8, death here. Okay. Forgiveness also here as well. So some of you, some children may be going through some sort of someone could have went to a funeral, or this could just really be putting an ending to not forgiving yourself. Okay, some of you may need to get in a space of forgiving yourself for the patterns that you may have carried on. Yeah, creativity with that sacral energy here. Okay, and that gives me womb energy, womb space. Okay, so for you mothers, you may have carried on a pattern that you have seen all this time, but rewriting that pattern of depressed in dishes. Okay, so rewriting those patterns, or you don't experience depression. What you got to be depressed for? What do you mean anxiety? You ain't experiencing anxiety. I got all the anxiety. Okay, so putting an end to those type of things and patterns that you may have experienced within your home. Okay, anxiety is real, depression is real when it comes to children also as well. Okay, so picking up on those cues that you may be seeing. So if your kid is picking up on behavioral patterns, acting out, okay, just try to be more understanding, okay, of where they may be coming from. Why is my child acting out like this? Could it be something that's going on at home? Yeah, was sent here. Okay, so it says was sent here to help you heal. Actions of the child is reflecting parts of you that's needing healing. So your child could have been sent here to help you heal. Okay, so they're acting out, or their actions is showing patterns of your actions. Okay, what's on the bottom of the deck here? Yeah, having PTSD symptoms. So some of your children could be having like night terrors, flashbacks, okay, some things that may have been going on in the house. So that could be another reason why there may be a sense of, behavioral issues. So, taking that time to really balance and rebalance at this time for this back to school season, okay? Do things a little bit different now, all right? Peace and love, y'all.